Hello and welcome back to my free webinars. This time we'll be dealing with CFA Level 1 equity. This time it's about equity. We'll be dealing with indexes. So I prepared something for you. Look at this. Look at this. There's the security market indexes that we'll be dealing with this time. We'll be talking about index construction. That's the thing for now. Index construction needs a deep insight into index weighting, first of all, into index management. So we'll be talking about price weighting, equal weighting, market capitalization weighting, and fundamental weighting. We also need to understand what is rebalancing, what is reconstitution. All of this is very important when it comes to your next CFA Level 1 exam. So let's start. Let us start. There are the questions I sent you, and those are, if I can just show them to you again on my website. Here they are. Here they are. Like, first of all, suppose stocks from the Business Valley, Securities, Stonehill Farms, and Uniromo developers described as follows. So there's price. There are prices at the beginning. And let's say there is a 10% increase in one single price, in one given price. Now, there is an effect. Of course, there is an effect. And the question is now, the percentage change in the price weighted, in the price weighted index, supposing that the divisor does not change, is best described as, if I can clarify this answer, either 1% or 2.6%, or it is 3%. What do you think? What would you think? So what is a price index? If there is a price today and there was a price yesterday, or if there is a price today and there is going to be a price, a different price tomorrow, there's an absolute change in price, in dollars, in euros, and anything. And there's, of course, a relative change, a percentage change. And that's the one we'll be dealing with in this webinar, the percentage change. So question A, we need to further examine question one, I'm sorry. And what's the answer to question one? So the price index is equal to this. There is a sum of prices today in the first period, and there's a sum of prices in the next period. Let's look it up. What's the sum of prices? 50, 60, and 40. And now there is a 10% price change. There is a 10% rise in the price of one single share. So what's going to happen? That means, if we can sum it up, that there is 150 euros or $150 in period T, which gives us, if I can just write it down, the sum is 50 plus 60 plus 40 equal to 150. And the next period is different, of course. As I said, 50 plus 60 plus not 40 any longer, but 10% higher, which gives us 44. So it's equal to 154. Now, if we divide by 3, of course, 150 divided by 3 equals 50, the average price. And now this divided by 3 gives us an average price of 51.33, which means that the price index, as we look at the average prices, is 51.33 minus 50. So the price of today minus the price given in the last period divided by the price of this last period. So it's always looking at the last period. So the price change from the past to now divided by the past price, divided by the price of the past, which is equal to 2.667% if we can round it to 3 decimal places after the comma, behind the comma, which gives us a true answer of B. B is the true answer because that's the answer to the price that the percentage change in the price weighted index is 2.67%. That was that. And as we can look into it again, I can say, and we can say, like taking a look at this mind map, there's several index construction methods. That's first of all, that's the price weighting. There's the price weighting methods. And second, there's the equal weighting methods. So what's the difference? What is the difference? I'll come to the next question right afterwards. The price index methods, very important. That could be your question in next CFA level 1 exam, right? So the weight of a given security, of a given constituent security, is PI, the price of that security, divided by the sum of all prices when the index J runs from 1 to n. That's it. So we divide it by each and every single price by the sum of all given prices. That's the weight of the ith, if I can call it this way, of the ith security. Now that's the weight. There's one single thing I'd like to stress, and that is talking about the divisor. What is a divisor, and how can we change the divisor so that the index, the price index, is going to stay the same? And that is a different thing to know, a very important thing to see. Let's take a look at this. If we have a table and we take a look at 3 different securities, so there is the price. There's a price before the split, because we want to stress a certain stock split, a split. Like for example, 30, 40, and 80. Which is, as a sum, 150. And given the divisor of 3, that means that the index, that the price index, of course, is 150 divided by 3, which is equal to 50. So the price index is 50, first of all. The index value, first of all, is equal to 50. Now, the thing is, if there's a stock split, for example, a stock split of, what did I say? I think 4 to 1, yes. 4 to 1 here. There's a stock split in security B, and that means that for each and every part, there's a different price. So if the price after the stock split is considered, price after the stock split, after the split, it's no more 40, it's of course 10. 30, 10, and 80, isn't it? The weight, the thing is that the weight is changed. 30 divided by 150 equals 20%, equal to 0.2. 0.2 is the weight of security A. Now security B, 40 divided by 150 is equal to 26%. And here 50 to 53% for the last one, equal to 1, of course, as the sum of all weights. Now, as you can see, the problem with the divisor, with this price weighted index, can be seen very clearly. because all the weights may change. All the weights will change because now it is 30, 10, and 80, which is no longer 150, but 120, which causes a problem because the divisor does not stay 3. The divisor does not stay 3 because if it was 3, then it was 100, then it would be 120 divided by 3 equal to 40 and no longer equal to 50. So how do we have to change the divisor? And that's the question. And that could be your question as well, just as well in your next CFA Level 1 exam. How do we have to change the divisor in order not to change the price index? In order not to change the price index. And that is, so if we want to stay with 50, it is of course true to ask by what number do we need to divide 120 in order to get 50, right? So 120 divided by D, divided by the divisor, is equal to this price index, which means that now we get 2.4. So it changes from 3 to 2.4, and that's important. And that's important. Of course, the weights themselves, they change from 20% to 25%, from 26% to only 8%, and this one rises to 67%, again equal to 1. So that's important. The role of a stock split. If there's a stock split, we have to change the divisor in order not to change the price index. And that's an important issue that could be a question just as well. Now, going back to my questions, going back here, question 1 we did already. Question 2, suppose the following development of value of stocks Woldens. There's a number of shares, there's a price, and in period T, and there's a price in period T plus 1. So the price weighted index, we don't look at we still look at the construction method of price indexes, and we want to take a look, we want to know the price weighted index for those stocks, if the divisor is equal to 3, is best described as. Now, we just need to understand, we just need to compute this. Is it 12%? Is it 11.4%? Or is it equal to 11%? What would you say? You just computed it, I guess, didn't you? You just computed it. I know you. I know you did. So let's move on to question number 2. And again, we sum up the prices. We sum up the prices equal to 30 to 35 and to 40, 105. That's period T, and then period T plus 1. That's another sum, 32 plus 40 plus 45. When taking a look into the table, yes. That is that. And the price index, as I said before, needs to be the price, the average price or the sum of prices or whatever, or a single price if we just look at one single security. It is 117. So the price of nowadays minus the price of the past, 105, divided by this price of the past, 105. That is that. And what did I want to say? I just wanted to make sure the computer stays alive. Please give me a second. Now, divided by 105, which is equal to 11%. So that is the answer to that question number 2. Question number 3. We don't want to look only at price value indexes, price weighted indexes, but of course, there's also other construction methods. For example, the equal weighting. For example, the market capitalization weighting. So there's different ones. And as we move on to heavier ones, there's the value weighted index for these stocks E, F, and G in question number 3. Question number 3 here. The number of shares, the price in period T of, let's say now, and the price in the future, T plus 1, so the next period, the following period. The value weighted index for these stocks, EFG, is best described as 12%, 12.5%, sorry, 13%, or 12.53%. So again, just compute it. We need to multiply the number of shares by the price, and we then need to compare, and that's it. So that's the whole story when it comes to a value weighted index. The whole story deals with the value, as the price, as the name might give you just first idea of what's inside. So as we see, the value weighted index is equal to the number of shares, 1,000, times the price, 32, and then again, just take a look at the others. So a 30,000 shares times 30 plus 3,000 shares times 35 plus, what was it, 6,000 times 40, which is the price of period T, and I should change 1,000 times 40. I'm sorry, because we need, of course, we need to put period T plus 1 into the numerator. 3,000 times 40 plus 6,000 times 45. So period T plus 1 divided by period T equal to the price index that has a base period of T, of capital T, and a current period of T plus 1. So divided by a numerator of 1,000 times 30 plus 3,000 times 35 plus 6,000 times 40, and that is, I would say, 1.12533, equal to or leading to an index of 12%, of 12.533%, which gives us the right answer, A. So A is the right answer. I'm sorry. Oh my God, that's very close. I just remembered 12.5, but answer C is closer. Answer C is even closer to this answer A. So just be aware of that. This could happen in your CFA exam just as well, so that the answers are just very near by each other. That was question 3, and the answer to question 3 was and is C. That was the computation thing. That was the computation. Now talking about some verbal stuff. Question number 4. When dealing with question number 4, where was it? Here. Question number 4. A price-weighted index, such as the Dow Jones Industrial Average, is best described as a geometric mean, an arithmetic mean of current prices, or an arithmetic mean of historic prices. What would you say? The thing is, geometric mean can be used only if we're talking about, like on a bank account, there is $1,000 now and $1,100 in 1 year, which means 10% rise. So if we go from 1,100 to 1,200, it's another percentage point. It's another percentage rise. So if we multiply those rises and we need to put 1 before the comma, we're talking about geometric means, and the geometric mean is just the average rise. It gives us the average rise. So the geometric mean can't be the right answer. The geometric mean is not the right answer. The right answer, of course, to this question 4 is B. It is B. So the arithmetic mean of current prices is or gives us the Dow Jones Industrial Average. That was question number 4. Sorry. Now, again, talking about the divisor. Next question. Talking about the divisor. There are prices before the split and there are prices after the split. Prices before the split 40, 30, and 20, and 20, 30, and 30. So they're splits. And we need to compute the value as we did with this question that I just invented half an hour ago. So what is it? We have 40, 30, and 20. The sum of prices now before the split is equal to 90. Is equal to 90. Question number 5. So 40 plus 30 plus 20 is equal to 90. That's before the split. That is before the split. And if we divide by 3, of course, we get an index. 90 divided by 3 equals 30. That's the result. Now, the next sum is 20 plus 30 plus 30, giving us 80, of course, 80. And now the question is, by which divisor do we need to divide in order to get the same price index? What would you say? What would you say here? And the answer is, so as I can just write it down again, we divide by D, not knowing the D, the exact number, but we want to get 30. We want to get 30 just as well. So the price index must not change, be it before the stock split or be it afterwards. By which number do we have to divide? And the answer, of course, is D has to be equal to 2.6, 2.67, if I may round it to 2 decimal places, which is C, which is the answer C. So that was that. Talking about construction methods. It's always important to be able, of course, to be able to really calculate the price index. And of course, it's important to understand the meaning of the divisor. We need to divide by the divisor. So the divisor is the denominator. And we need to divide the sum of prices by a given divisor in order to get the price index, to get the index. And as we don't want to change the index when it comes to a stock split, then we have to change the divisor, because the sum of prices divided by the divisor gives us the index value. And so we just want to make sure the change of divisor leads to the same index. And that was that. So if you like this webinar, if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, as we say in Facebook Times. Just tell others about it. If you didn't, just only tell us. And again, I want to make sure that I told you about our webinar that is going to take place in November, next one, November 2018, the webinar that is going to take place in order to help you prepare for your CFA Level 1 exam. For your CFA Level 1 exam, and that is a 5-day webinar taking place in November 2018. 5 days in a row. There is one webinar in English and one webinar in German. See more on that on Lambert Education, www.lamberteducation.com, and then click on the webinar, click on English minus webinar, just to see more details on that. So that was it. And I just want to make sure one different thing. Next week on Friday the 2nd of November, 2018, we'll be dealing with the last webinar of this series, and it's going to be derivatives. Yes, derivatives. There is so much to talk about derivatives. European options, American options, call options, put options, and of course binomial trees and fiduciary calls, and so on and so on. I'm looking forward to next Friday. So make sure you enroll on Facebook or just by email to info@daniel-lambert.de. See you then. See you then. I'm Daniel Lambert, Berlin.